Okay. So pretty much I just want to just test how I'm talking because like I want to actually take into consideration on like what I even look like and how I even sound. Because I know when I'm rapping, it depends on the song itself of how it's able to like sync to my brain frequency and sound wave. Because like I'm also wearing my neuro piece as well, and it's actually helping me in becoming a quicker thinker and being able to kind of not kind of but like express who I am as a person and as like an evolved human being in that regard. But I just wanted to just show you like on my design and like sound design skills. So I feel like, if there's like a boy group, Two Cat's Eye, like I am all for that because like I'm serious about becoming like an artist and a music producer in that regard because like I have potential in that and I want to show like a different type of frequency to music in that first place. But it's just like I just need like an opportunity and like a chance for me to even do that, to even tackle that challenge. And that's like level 3 to level 4 is what I'm trying to get to. So that's my objective, and I'm trying to get to that. But it's just like I have to like go through things in a linear path, and I don't know how to describe it. It's just like literally in a linear path, and I have to wait for that opportunity to happen in order for an opportunity to come from that. Like that's where I'm trying to get at and trying to communicate my message in a way that speaks to you. And then I had made another video before about dimension. So basically, that's what I mean by like just a linear path. So if you think of the first dimension, it's very linear. So it's just straight. Like I mean, it doesn't stop. It just goes on forever. So it just continuously goes on. So I feel like with the second dimension, it's so your orientation just goes, that's not what I'm doing, but that's what it looks like for some reason. It is. It's infinity, but it's just like a different type of like look to myself with infinity. And I'm seeing something different and I'm just noticing how I look. And that's like the realization of like what I mean, because it's just like, what is it? How am I able to like even function and operate like this? And this is me going through like an episode pretty much. Just gonna say that. But I mean, I've been posting on Instagram and everything like that, but like seems like no one is actually paying attention to what I'm doing, and it just seems very like ignorance. So ignorance, so it's like when you're not being seen or heard, and that's what I'm trying to do is be seen and heard one roar at a time. But it seems like people they don't really care. Wait one second. When I was saying like no one cares, I'm just taking observation and data is that like people are literally like in their own worlds, living their own reality, but it's just like if you were to create like a connection with another human and actually speak with like on their frequency, then they'll kind of understand you of where I'm trying to get at. Because I feel like I don't know what my mission is to just learn and evolve. And I think of the show Invader Zim. So when I think of Invader Zim, I think of, you know, it doesn't have to be like a literal alien crash landed on Earth. It could just be like a metaphorical type of thing. So I feel like I had to like actually change my look because I was actually looking at myself, my head looks flat. Like I gotta add some dimension to like my head because so back to like what I was actually saying in that regard with the second dimension, you only can go like front, back, left, right. Like you can't there's no orientation of going up or down, which is really interesting because like if something were to come from like the third dimension to the second dimension, like literally going down on something, the second dimension won't comprehend like what is actually happening because they'll be like, because it just came out of nowhere. That's what it means. Like that's literally what it means. And that's like really interesting to like actually think about if you think about it from like a dimensional type of like frame of mind or something like that, a state of mind. Like I also think that the third dimension, so we are living in the third dimension as of right now, which is like you can literally see, forwards, but you can always go backwards, left, and right. And there's also up and down. So that's pretty much what it is, which is really interesting to actually think about because like since people are just like literally just like set on that level of thinking already, any other thing that anything else like beyond that, no one's gonna comprehend. But like if anything were to like go outside of like that their own thinking of dimensional, like just their level already, no one's gonna comprehend. They're just gonna be like, that's a weirdo. But you don't know what like the weirdo is actually saying and like what they're doing and what their objective is because like people are just literally set in their own ways of thinking and it's just like really pathetic on how that is. But because I'm just taking information observation because like I can see people when they're like turning their backs on me, like you don't know me for one, and I'm trying to like do something a little bit different, and that's what it is. It's different differentiation, or it's more like willing not to change. That's like the whole saying of be not afraid, because you have to embrace change in order to get a new like perspective of life. Because like there's so much potential out there in the world, and people can actually take into consideration of like, you know, that they're like, I don't even know how to say it, but it's just like that's just something a little bit that I have just found out, and it's just like really really sad to just think about, to be honest. But anyways, the fourth dimension is time. So if I think of the time as like, not out of like the normal time, but it's the like universal. You I'm stuttering, so it's dimensional. So I mean, that's how I think of what the fourth dimension is. Now, with the fifth dimension, I mean, it still trying to figure it out what it is, because I want to understand it fully before I actually like interject my thinking process on that, because it feels like you have to like actually live it in order to actually be able to talk to it. And that's why this podcast video format, video log, journal, diary is going to be more of like uh especially how I'm feeling throughout the day, especially going through my mental episodes, because like I feel like it's an episode in itself and every day is literally different. So it's XWELL straight out of science fiction. That's what I'm going to call this. And this is, I would say, the prelude to the actual like story that's being written. Because this is, I'm going through an episode literally, and it's just like I can actually feel myself going through an episode. But at the same time, I'm so coherent in the moment. It's just like that's why that's why it's literally, I feel like this is the reason why it's schizophrenia. But that's, I don't want that. I don't want schizophrenia as a name, because like that doesn't sound right. Saying schizo doesn't like sound right either, because people, that's like a negative connotation of like how people would refer to someone as schizos. And I don't really like these actors, these like music artists that are like actually making fun of mental health. It's just really pathetic in my opinion, considering that someone has a mental ability, and I'm not saying disability, because an ability is more of like a new level of thinking rather than how everyone else is thinking, is like how I would put that, to be honest. But I think, so this side is more of like the regular me, or maybe it's this side. I don't know, because like my left and right orientations are literally different. So it's just like I don't, and I'm getting tired. I'm literally exerting so much energy by just talking that it's just like it's utilizing my battery percentage, and it's just like I don't know how to describe it. So, but I feel like this is going to wrap up the end of the day for this one. But yeah, if you are struggling, if you have a mental condition that you may not be seen or heard, or if you just are just like an introvert, and you know there's someone out you that there. See how my brain is literally, there's someone out for you. You know, really difficult to just actually say that, but I mean, Zeno, just wow, Lion Boy.